Quickly now, a look back at just a tiny few of Larry Merchant's greatest hits.
Blood is good. Blood is emotion. Blood is a story, a drama. Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion. What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
For 35 years, Larry Merchant has had the best seat in the house. Ringside for some of the biggest fights in boxing history, an interviewer and personality extraordinaire. Larry Merchant has experienced it all in the world of boxing.
The kiss where the sun don't shine. And since we're on HBO, that's my big black behind.
Thank you, Larry. You're going out the way you came into this fight. You stick to your principles, at least.
But Larry was more than a ringside presence. He's hosted studio shows.
Hello again, and welcome back to the Theater of the Unexpected. With me to provide an historical and analytical view of memorable knockouts is the heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson. Mike, everyone knows you're a knockout fighter.
Reported from Wimbledon.
With Andre Agassi electing to bypass the Super Bowl of his game, it fell to a 14-year-old, Jennifer Capriati, to become the great American hope.
Investigated for Real Sports.
Have you heard of athletes betting with any bookies?
No.
Are you sure? You seem to be smiling here.
Inside the NFL.
And when I think Vikings, I think defense. We're going to take a look at the 30-year NFL veteran who put this Viking defense together.
And right now, Thomas Hearns is an open book for Ray Leonard.
And was the writer and a major creative force behind HBO's legendary Night series.
The fight is remembered sort of like a passing tornado. Something bad happened, something dangerous happened, and it's gone. And maybe we're still trying to figure out what it was.
But here at HBO, live boxing is the telecast for which Larry Merchant will best be remembered. He had his own unique brand of ringside commentary.
Just as blacks identify with heroes like Jackie Robinson and Muhammad Ali, white people occasionally invest in a Vince Lombardi or a Jerry Cooney. There are a lot of skeptics out there who think that George now is more King Khan than King Kong. All champions have egos, but if ego was a crime, the prince would be on death row. I've gone to the Tokyo Fish Market, which is one of the greatest spectacles on earth. As far as you can see, huge frozen tuna, because the Japanese love tuna so much. And going into this fight, I thought, or when I was down there looking at it, I thought, well, Buster Douglas is just another frozen tuna.
Called almost 1,000 fights.
He spent almost $200,000 on clothes last year, but obviously none of them on sweat socks or robes.
Mike Tyson looked like a bull in an antique shop. And what he did was he cut down the old grandfather clock. Derek Jefferson, I love you. And the next big thing is about to become the last big bust. And we have to ask, will Manny Pacquiao ever be seen in the ring again? This makes Cinderella look like a sad story.
And had many a memorable interview.
I didn't challenge me with their somewhat primitive skills. They're just as good as dead.
Inquiring minds want to know, how does a woman who went to Sarah Lawrence and Harvard Medical School wind up falling in love with a guy who's a graduate of the School of Hard Knocks?
God, I want to know too.
They stopped the fight because they counted you out and they ruled that you were knocked out.
Do I look knocked out? Do I look like I'm wobbled?
Well, you only have to be knocked out for 10 seconds.
I wasn't knocked out. I wasn't knocked down.
People can borrow that little extra money they need on the mortgages.
And what has that got to do with the price of tea in China or the result of this fight? You beat a C-rated fighter. So what?
But the fight, I was winning this fight.
He was robbed. My winner.
Excuse me, folks. I'm not used to using any strong-arm tactics to get my interviews in.
I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you
You
talking
heard him.
about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You're not shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
You won't do shit.
It isn't possible to replace Larry Merchant. We still look forward to visiting with our friend and colleague and seeing him around the fight game for years to come.
See you then Good night.
All right, we're back at ringside in Houston, and now, Larry, one last time on HBO's World Championship Boxing. The stage is yours. What do you have to say?
Thank you, Jim. This is the final thoughts. I've been lucky to be in this sporting life for a long, long time. But the luckiest thing that ever happened to me was to join a startup company that became what HBO is today, a breakthrough creative world network. And nothing I've done could match that. But now there's another future. It might be here, it might be there, it might be anywhere, it might be everywhere. I can't possibly thank all the talented people and friends who I see as the adults who really make all this happen and have allowed me to play in the sandbox for all these years. But I do want to single out a few people who started this enterprise and nurtured it. Michael Fuchs, my friend Seth Abraham, the matchmaker Lou DiBella, and the executive producer Ross Greenberg. I also want to thank the fans, those who cheered and jeered me, the fighters who put a part of their lives at stake so that our lives can be richer, the media, my colleagues and friends, and my family, my wife Patricia. They're far-flung and throughout the country. They've always supported me, and just imagine living for at least 35 years with an old fight degenerate. And I have to thank you, Jim, for your generosity over the years. We didn't make it as long as the Rolling Stones, but we did pass the Beatles.
Well, Larry, as Mick and Keith taught us about 46 years ago, time is on our side. And by the way, you've been my mentor, my editorial advisor, my conscience, really, for 25 years, and I don't plan to try to pilot without you. So don't change your phone number, okay? You can run, but you can't hide. Thank you very much.